recording. Hey, Luis. Good evening. How you doing, man? Hi, Luis. Can you hear me? There we go. Hi, man.
Hello.
So, Luis, for today's class, we're gonna have a little review on passive voice. Do you remember anything about passive voice?
Anything? I think I remember like some things, but it will be better or nice if you explain it to me.
Sure. So let's begin, okay? For today's class, we're gonna work on the passive voice. And for this one, we're gonna use a very simple, let's say, formula, okay? The formula for passive voice is basically the object, okay, of the sentence. And then we're gonna add, how do I add some things? Well, we're gonna use the diagonal, okay. We're gonna add then, okay, verb to be, okay?
Okay.
And the verb to be has to be very simple, okay? Basically, we're gonna be using the verb to be to indicate the tense of the sentence. That means that we're gonna have to make a little review on the different tenses of the verb to be. Maybe an is, are, am, was, where, and so on.
Where? Okay.
Yeah. And then we're gonna add a verb again, but now in past participle, okay?
Okay.
Which is the third form that you're gonna see in your verb list. Probably you're gonna have it at the end of your book, or probably you have it just as a piece of paper. And that's it. Okay, sometimes for passive voice, we can add, okay, who did the action. But generally what we're trying to say is, oh, well, we use passive voice because we don't want to express who did the action. And that's it, my man.
Okay, nice.
So to begin for today's class, we're gonna just simply start with this little exercise right here, where we're gonna review all the different forms, okay, of the verb to be in according to the tense, and of course the verb in past participle, okay? So let's begin with the first one, but here we're gonna have a sentence in active voice, which is, can you please read it, Luis?
He writes many.
Okay, there we go. So he writes many letters. Now we're gonna change the object of the sentence, which is many letters, to the beginning of the sentence. We're gonna start with that one, so many letters. And then we need a verb to be that is indicative of the tense. This sentence is in which tense, Luis? Hey. We don't remember, my man?
He writes many letters.
Okie. Well, that sentence, in which tense is it? Simple present, simple past, present continuous. What do you say?
I think it's simple present.
There you go, my man. Very good. It's simple present because we have an S right there. Okay. And remember that for simple present, for he, she, and it, we add an S. So now let's remember which verbs to be, okay, are used in simple present. Which form of the verb to be? We have only three.
She like is or what? No. What's the other one?
Okay, we have is, which is for singulars. Then for I, we say?
Am.
Eso, very good. We have am, and finally we have for plurals?
Have.
Close, no. Are.
Are, as are.
Very good. So for this case, okay, we have many letters, which is a plural. Which verb to be do we have to use for it in this case?
Are.
Are, very good. So we add are, okay, And then the verb in past participle. Here the verb is write. What is the past participle of write? I am sorry, I couldn't hear
I
you.
don't know. It's written.
There you go, my man. Well done. It is written. Let me just, I don't have a T in my computer. Let's see. Okay. We're gonna use this one. It's just that my computer doesn't work with T or Y. Why? I have no idea. But there we go. So I'm gonna just
Okay.
copy this one. There we go. And then we add the EN, right? And that's it.
Okay, yes.
That's how easy it's gonna be. So as you can see, we're gonna be using the same verbs, so we don't have to struggle at all with the verbs right now.
Okay.
But we're gonna have to remember again the verb to be. So the second sentence, can you please read it?
Yes, yes. He wrote many letters.
There you go, well done. So this sentence is in which tense?
I think it's simple past.
There you go, my man. And what verb to be do we use for simple past?
What?
Oh, I'm sorry, Luis, I couldn't hear you. Can you please repeat it one more time?
Yes,
Luis.
I think we use like was for singular and were. Yes.
Yes, my man, well done. So since this one is plural, we will use where.
Where? Okay.
There you go. So finally, since we have where, we just add a verb as always, right? And that's it. Verb written. Now let's go with number 3. And here I'm gonna help you out. He has written many letters. So we have the verb, well, the auxiliary has. Which tense is this sentence written in?
In which time we have it, or I don't know.
You don't remember? Sorry, it's because since sometimes we get like the image phrases, I cannot hear you completely. So you don't remember for has written, right?
Check. I don't know if it's my connection.
It's okay, my dude, don't worry. Well, as I think what you mentioned is that you didn't remember what was the tense, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay, don't you worry, my man. So has, okay, from the beginning, we can see that it has an S, which reminds us a lot about present. So that's our first clue. It is present. Now,
Okay.
when we have a verb in past participle, you can just right away guess that is a perfect tense. So since we have has and we have a verb in past participle, we can say simply that is present perfect.
Okay.
Okay. So now, how do we use, of course, passive voice with present perfect? Because that's one of the most difficult ones, right? Well, first, we have to continue using the auxiliary, okay? The auxiliary, as we mentioned, is has or have, depending if it's singular or plural. For this sentence, we're gonna use have or has.
Okay. Had or has?
Yeah. So, well, which one are we gonna use? Have or has? Since we have many letters, which is plural, what do you say?
Had?
So very good. So we use have. So that's how simple. Now, for the next step, we need to use the verb to be, right? So we need to change our verb to be into the past participle to continue with the idea, right? So what is the form, okay, of the verb to be in past participle? Chan, chan, chan. Do you know?
Putin, I don't know.
Well, that's very funny, and it was very close. Since in the verb list, I think that you can have be, then for simple past, we have was and were. And then finally, we have the form been, right? Like frijolito, very close to frijolito. So we have been. And then simply just add the verb in past participle, which we mentioned it was written. So we say, many letters have been written by him. Okay? We continue with number 4.
Okay.
Okay? Can you please read it?
Yes, many letters have been written by him.
Ay, bárbaro. So you already had it, okay? Well done there. Let me just put it here again on the text. And yeah, very simple. We just simply change the have for the had. Okay. And that's it. Okie dokie. So there we have it. The most difficult ones we have already, okay, seen them. So that's awesome. Now we go now with he, the modal verbs, right? And one of them is gonna be would, okay? So we have, he would write many letters. Okay, how do we actually change this sentence into the passive voice? Very simple, Luis. You just simply keep, okay, the modal verb, which in this case is would, and then you add the base form of the verb to be. What is the base form of the verb to be, my man?
Like, yes.
Pregunta capciosa. Okay.
This is the base from B. He will be.
Eso, there you go. It'll be be, just like that. So that is the base form. We have will be, and then finally you add the verb again. It will, many letters will be written. Dun, dun. Then we have the second one, and we have, he will have written many letters. Damn, do you know how do we use this sentence actually? Like, what does that mean?
Which one?
The number 6.
6. He will have written many letters.
Yeah.
No, I don't have an idea.
Oh, very interesting. So when we express this idea with would and have, basically we're talking about a regret. Something that we wished we had done, but we never did it.
Okay.
So this kind of sentence, you will use it a lot for expressing the hubiera, right?
Okay.
And that's the thing. So, but you know what they say, hubiera no existe, so hee. However, let's just add it because of the lols. So very simple. We continue using just would. And then what do you think we have to do, Luis?
To change it, he will have written to put like the other ones.
Okay. So what word has to go after would?
Like bean, maybe?
Cerquitas, right? Actually, we have to keep again the have.
He will
have,
have.
right? Because these two, let's say auxiliaries are working together. So we have to keep it like that. And then that when we add, of course, now we add the verb to be, which is been. And then the verb in past participle, which is
written.
There you go, my man. Okie dokie. So there we have it. So in this case, we will say many letters will have been written, right? So they never did, they never were written, but they will have been if probably we had had the chance. Very funny, that sentence, hee. Now we have the next sentence. The next two sentences are ones that probably you have already seen before. Can you read number 7, please?
Yes, he's reading many letters.
Excellent. So this sentence, can you tell me in which tense is written?
Present continuous.
There you go, my man. Excellent. Okay, so now, chan, 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 chan. How do we use present continuous, okay, in passive voice? So first, as you have seen, okay, we have to keep the auxiliary intact, right? So the auxiliary in this tense is, of course, the verb to be, okay, which can be is or are or am. So for many letters, which verb to be are we gonna use?
Like so,
The internet now. I'm sorry, Luis, your camera again froze. So can you tell me again your answer?
which verb to be we're going to use?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Luis, I couldn't hear you again.
You hear me now? No,
I can hear you now.
it's better.
Yeah.
I don't know which one to use. It isn't like the other ones, isn't plural.
Yes.
So we're doing like are.
There you go, my man. Excellent. So we keep are now because, again, we have to keep the auxiliary just as it was before. So we have a verb to be, are. Why? Because we have plural. Now, the next step is, again, to add another verb to be because we have to express that it's continuous. Yes, we're going to have a double verb to be. That's very funny,
Wow.
right?
Yes.
Okay, so how do we change the verb to be into the ing form? Do you have any idea?
Have like two verbs to.
I'm sorry, Luis, and I need you to repeat it again. I just couldn't hear. We're gonna use two verbs to be, and that was it.
Okay, okay. I don't have an idea. Really?
Okay. Well, in this case, we're gonna continue with a base form, but now we simply add ing.
Ing.
That's it, my man. So we have are being, and then you add your verb. Simply as that. And we have are being written, right?
Right.
So the same happens for the past continuous, which is number 8. Can you please read it?
Yes. He was writing many letters.
There you go. So for the passive voice, we just simply have to change the first verb to be. So what will it be, Luis?
He was. He were.
There you go, my man. And then we add being and written. Easy as that. Finally, and we almost there. We have simple future, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because we have a will. Here it says, he will write many letters.
There's.
So we just simply have to add the verb to be that we use for simple future. Which one is that?
Would.
Ah, funny. Actually, Would is known as a past of will. However, what we need here is to simply add a will, as always. And then, just as we did with would, we have to add.
The verb to be.
Exactly. And then?
The verb in, which one? The past participle.
There you
Written.
go, my man. Will be written. Just give me 1 second because my computer is about to turn off.
Okay, it's fine.
I just have to connect it. We continue. Okay, my man. So now we're just gonna skip the next one since we have already expressed it with would. But now we continue with is going to, which is also which tense? Wait. I'm sorry, Luis.
Going
So,
to, like, going to, which tense is?
yeah.
It's also future, right?
Yes, man. There you go. So, how do you think we can use is going to, okay, for a passive voice sentence?
I don't know, maybe like we use it in will.
Okay, so we're gonna start then by using, well, not is, right? We have to use are because they are plural. Are going to, and then what do we do?
To, are going to been.
Be or be?
Going to be.
There you go. Sounds better, right?
Right.
Okay, and finally, we add the verb written. And that's all we need to know. So learning like this, it can be very boring, right? Because we have to memorize all the verbs that we have in verb to be and then the verbs in past participle and so on. However, today, okay, I'm gonna explain to you a very, very cool use of passive voice. Not only for you to make these random exercises, okay, where you have to complete the sentences by looking at an active voice sentence, but actually to avoid responsibility. So tell me,
Nice.
Luis. Great. So tell me, Luis, how many times have you been, or have you been, let's say, caught by your parents, okay, doing something that you weren't supposed to?
Or like eating the cookies. Oh my God. Like,
Yeah.
maybe not a lot of times, but sometimes, yes.
Yeah, right. So sometimes we make mistakes, sometimes we do things that we shouldn't be doing. And we don't want to get caught, or at least we don't want it to be reprimanded. We don't want to get scolded by our parents, or simply we just want to avoid getting that whole problem. And the thing is that in English, we have this very, very useful tool, which is passive voice, to try to avoid getting the whole package of the problem, right? So how does it work? As I mentioned you before, sometimes the verb to be, sorry, sometimes passive voice is used when we don't want to express or when we don't know who did the action, right? We just want to focus on the object, right?
Okay.
So imagine, Luis, that one day, okay, you were late, okay, to get to work, right?
Okay.
Maybe you went to a party last night, you drank a lot, okay? And next day you had a hangover, and when you least expected, it's already 8 a.m. in the morning. You were supposed to be there at 8, and you had to run like very, very quickly. When you get there, okay, with your boss, of course your boss is gonna be like, Luisillo, what were you doing, right? Like, what? So what excuse do you think that we can use, okay, for this situation?
Maybe that, my alarm didn't sound on time, or
Ooh.
it's not like this happened to me before, right? It's like we are supposing.
Aye, very good. Because we are always punctual, right? We're
Yes, we are
always there
always
for our
punctual,
appointments, no matter what.
obviously.
Okay, so very good. One of the things that you mentioned, my alarm didn't sound. Okay, very good. Another way to express this, of course, is to say, okay, my phone's battery, okay, was dead, or simply it just died last night, right?
Okay. Yes.
We can say that. We can also say, I was caught in traffic, because that's very common here in Chihuahua.
Yes.
Maybe in Delicias, where both of us are from, it's not very common, right? We cannot blame the traffic.
No, we don't have a lot of people there.
Yeah, but here in Chihuahua, we can blame the traffic, of course.
Thankfully,
Thanks
we
God
can
for
blame
that.
it.
So there is that excuse, right? Okay, I was caught in the traffic. So I'm gonna give you some situations, Luis. Okay, probably you're gonna be familiarized with some of them, some others. Okay, you're gonna be like, maybe I'm not that familiarized. But let's
Okay.
see how you do, okay, with your excuses. Let's see how good you are at not telling people
The
the
truth.
truth. Okay, so let's begin with something very simple. Let me just get here my little list. Ho, 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 ho. Dang it. Where is passive voice? 1 second, sweetie. It's just that.
It's okay.
There we go. It's just that I'm super blind right now since it's very late in the evening. I'm just not able to see clearly. There we go.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So we're gonna try, okay, or we're gonna continue with the idea that you are, okay, a worker at a certain place, okay? So let's go with the first one, Luis, okay? The first situation is, you work at a restaurant, okay?
Okay.
And your boss asks you, hey, Luis, why are the water glasses still dirty? What do you think you can say?
You can say like, I have been busy.
Okay, well, that's a very good excuse. But in this case, you are putting yourself in the center. Like, I have been busy. I have been working, boss, okay? But
Yes.
we know that probably we were, like maybe chatting on our phones for a while. And probably we don't want them to check the cameras because they're gonna see that we were
The
chatting on
phone.
WhatsApp. So we want to have another excuse, okay? Try to focus on the water glasses. What can we say about the glasses?
Well, maybe I can say like, there's no water, or no, what else can I say? There's no water to clean it, or maybe I'm not good at making excuses. Oh my God.
Actually, you are correct, huh? You actually did give it on the nail. We can say that actually the water was disconnected. That's
Okay.
correct, man. So our water was disconnected, so we don't have any water. So we don't have water to clean them up. Sorry, someone
That's
called me.
okay.
Okay, so very good. Now let's go with another one, okay? Let's say, okay, that you work at an office, okay? You're a beautiful accountant, okay? A very handsome accountant.
Ah, thank you.
And for this one, okay, you were supposed to pay all the paychecks of the employees, okay, that quincena,
Like
that week.
sincero. Yes.
So we just discovered that no one got their paychecks. So here your boss comes and says, hey, okay, why haven't the employees received their paychecks yet? What can we say to him?
What can I say to him?
Yeah.
That's too much responsibilities for me. Okay.
Mhm.
Mm, maybe I can say that my laptop isn't working right, or we don't have internet. I don't know. So,
Okay. So those are very good excuses. My computer is not working. Maybe got
got one, like the system is not working. That always
that's
works.
better. Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. So we can also say, for example, as you mentioned, the symptom has presented some issues, right?
Some issues.
Yeah,
Okay, that
because
sounds better.
we want to sound like very formal, like
Yes.
because we are accountants, we wear ties to work and that kind of stuff.
Very fancy.
Exactly. And we want to again, we don't want to say, it was my computer since I watch a lot of anime. Sometimes my computer freezes. We don't want to say that. Okay, we
Yes.
want to blame it on something else. Also, for example, we can express something like maybe that you have already called the bank, right? But the bank hasn't, right, responded your emails, or they haven't responded your inquiries, or that kind of stuff as well.
Okay.
So very good. And finally, Luis, as far as I know, you work at Domino's, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So let's say, Luis, that day we didn't want to work a lot. We weren't
Okay.
very, very enthusiastic about our jobs. And there were many, many deliverers. Well, let's say that there were many pizzas that we had to deliver that day, but they weren't made, right? We weren't making
Okay.
those pizzas already. So tell me, Luis, if your boss comes to you and say, why are so many deliverers, delayed? What can we say to him?
What can I say?
Yeah.
Maybe I can blame my partner. I say like, I passed the pizzas today and they didn't do it the right way. That happens a lot of the time. Maybe I can say that they ordered like a Hawaiian pizza and we made a pepperoni pizza instead.
Oh God, that happens really?
A lot. That's why, but don't tell anyone. We eat a lot in Domino's. I don't struggle with eating because occasionally some pizzas were missing. I don't know why. But maybe I can blame my partner, or saying that the delivery guy make a mistake. That happens a lot. Or the delivery guy missed the pizza, forgot the pizza, sorry, in the store.
Okay. So the pizza was forgotten by the
Okay,
delivery guy,
forgotten by the delivery guy.
right? Because we don't want to completely blame the delivery guy, because maybe he can, backfire to us, and he could be like, no, ni más paloma.
Yes.
So we can do that, of course. We can, as you mentioned, we can also blame it on our coworkers. That's true. That's something very common. But we can also say maybe that the oven wasn't, I don't know, set on the correct temperature, or maybe that the ingredients weren't fresh enough.
Yes.
I'm not sure. But well, Luis, that's gonna be all for today, man. Okay, do you have any questions?
Actually not. I'm
Pretty
fine.
easy, right? Okay, dude. So that was all for today. Thank you all for joining, and I'll see you next class, okay?
Okay. See you.
See you, my man. Bye.
Bye.
¿Ha dejado esto?